Okay, so here's my Xin Zhao clear. For the runes, it's the standard runes, nothing tricky. The only thing that's really changing is the Alacrity versus Legend Tenacity. I'm not even sure if the Alacrity does anything for the clear. And obviously, if you want the Tenacity in game, just go for it. It's not that worthy of an exchange because attack speed is so cheap for Xin Zhao to build in most of his builds. And yeah, in the replay, I do run Hextech Flash because I might stick around in the practice tool and practice, and having the boots come up is kind of annoying. So that's the runes. Let's go ahead and get into the clear. Starting with E level 1 gives you more attack speed. You're going to be getting more damage off over time compared to if you started the Q or the W. And then every single time the red buff's auto attack is down, we're going to be trying to step it back and then get more distance towards the golems here. Always pulling it down. You do have to be kind of gentle with the max range here so that you have the good distance on it where you don't lose patience, and then finish it off with the smite and then move into the golems. Pretty easy. And then we're focusing the big golem and kind of avoiding the auto attacks from the small one by moving left and right. And then once we finish it off, we change our auto attacks onto the small one. The big one will die to the red buff, and then we can start just auto attacking the medium golems here, pulling them to the left so that we're closer to the raptors. And then as these die, we move them up and then finish them off with the E. If we were to stay for the autos, it would just take a little bit longer and doesn't necessarily speed up our raptors. And then with the raptors, alternate the Q autos onto different ones because that Q does give your auto attack a little bit more damage. And then you want to auto attack each small raptor about 2 times and then focus the big one. Once the E is off cooldown, you want to make sure that the small raptors are pulled close to that big raptor so that your E actually gets onto them. And then we can just walk out the big raptor because of the red buff. And now on to the wolves. We're going to E the big wolf, auto it once, move to the side, W so that the stab gets onto the small wolves, and then pull them up, auto each small wolf once. And now here's basically the hardest part. You just move behind the wolf and then W it and the small wolves, and then you also mark the blue buff so that you can E towards it. And then that's what really is most of the time save with this clear. You have to have the raptors down pretty well, and then onto the blue and Gromp. It just speeds everything up so much more if you dash to the blue buff there. And then with the blue buff and Gromp, you want to get the blue buff to about 200 HP with your autos, and then it will die to this E, so you don't have to auto it again. And then you just finish off the Gromp with autos. You could just walk that one out in a real game. You don't have to stay for the auto. And that's the clear. So it's one that's kind of hard to do, especially the raptors and then the wolves into the blue, and then knowing the exact autos and abilities to cast on the blue Gromp takes some practice. But it's one to practice, especially if you're playing some Xin Zhao, because I think this champion is really good in solo queue right now. And if you have that clear a little bit faster, obviously you're just going to be in spots that the enemy doesn't expect you a little bit faster. And if you have a full clear, doing this is, or if you have an uncontested scuttle, doing this is completely fine. If you need to skip a camp for scuttle, then maybe you would just skip wolves or the Gromp if you wanted to. But yeah, you would still be level 3, just finishing the blue, entering the scuttle, but you would still have your smite up. So skipping Gromp is totally doable. And then if you're starting blue, obviously skipping golems after you finish red to take the bot side scuttle is nothing new. And then you just do your golems after scuttle if there's no gank, reset, back to another full clear. So yeah, that's the Xin Zhao clear. If you have any questions on it or something, you can leave comments, and I hope it helps. Leave a like on the video and subscribe for more daily League of Legends content. Alrighty, peace.
We love Xin Zhao. We love with the shield bow. We love critting, and the enemy goes, "What the hell? I thought I had him." But then you have this big ass shield with shield bow, and they're like, "Huh?"